The Duke-Carolina rivalry is so great. Leitner, Jordan, Grant Hill, J.R. Reed, Kyrie Irving.
Man, we talking football.
Football. The biggest matchup for these schools maybe ever on the football field. Duke needs one more win to make the title game. How do they take down their rival? Also on ACC Live.
What a remarkable Houdini job by Jameis Winston.
We know Jameis Winston is the Heisman frontrunner, but could we see two other ACC stars sitting beside him at the stiff arm ceremony?
Where is Andre Williams? There he is.
And three in-state, intense rivalries. It could be a win-win-win situation for the ACC. What will it take for Florida State, Clemson, and Georgia Tech to all pull out victories? ACC Live starts now. Welcome to ACC Live. I'm Jeff Fischel. He is NFL great and Miami Hurricanes Hall of Famer. How does that sound, Clinton Portis?
Great.
It
Sounds
should,
great.
man. That's awesome. That's an awesome honor. It is Thanksgiving Day tomorrow. So what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful that the ACC has become a powerhouse. Again, we have a serious contender for the BCS title game, and we can't wait. You actually have two serious contenders. We'll tell you about it later.
That's what I'm thankful for. Not one, not just Jameis Winston. Two Heisman Trophy contenders with Andre Williams. And if voters would actually take defensive players seriously, there should be three with Pitt's Aaron Donald. More on all of that later in the show. Also, I will explain how Florida State versus Clemson in the national title game. That's right. I will explain how they can meet in the BCS Championship Game. Are you on board with that?
I'm on board.
All right, good. First, the game of the week. It's Duke-Carolina. If the Blue Devils beat the Tar Heels, Duke is in the ACC title game. All right, CP. Duke's won 5 in a row, but here come the Tar Heels. They've now won 5. Duke's won 7 in a row. Now the Tar Heels won 5 in a row.
I think when you look at Duke and what Duke needs to do is sustain drives and not turn the ball over. Duke is best when they're up and down the field, moving the chains, letting that quarterback get out in open space, and do not create turnovers. When they went through the little tough stretch, I think it was like 6 or 7 turnovers. If they can go into North Carolina, not turn the ball over, they have a legitimate chance.
They certainly are proving to everybody in the ACC that they have a shot to be in Charlotte. The other in-conference games. Here's how the Coastal breaks down. Now, if Duke wins, we know it's a done deal. But if Duke loses, Virginia Tech is next in line. In fact, if Duke and Virginia Tech lose, you can keep the scenarios going. Then it's Miami's turn. Miami would have to be Pitt. And then if Duke and Virginia Tech and Miami all lose, that's when Georgia Tech, which is playing out of conference this week, that's when Georgia Tech sneaks in. So my question, CP, are you sticking with Duke? That was your pick last week.
I think it's going to be tough. North Carolina is playing great football right now. Ever since the quarterback went down, I think this team has rallied. They're playing great football right now, as we expected in the beginning of the season. And I think Duke going in, they could possibly slip up, and I think they will.
So then you're saying Virginia Tech then, next in line?
Virginia Tech will definitely beat Virginia, so it will have to be Virginia Tech.
All right, you heard him. He's now going with the Hokies. Who is your pick to win the Coastal? Do you agree? We already had Ross Watson tweet in and said he thinks VT sneaks in. He agrees with Clinton Portis. Tweet us. Tell us what you think at the ACC DN. And coming up, one of Duke's stars talks with a North Carolina legend. That's awkward. It's time now for the internet stories ACC fans are feasting on like a turkey leg with a side of mashed potatoes and stuffing. It's time for the buzz. Jameis Winston, the clear Heisman Trophy frontrunner right now, but SB Nation's Jason Kirk makes a great point. Winston, Andre Williams, Aaron Donald, ACC might as well start up its own Heisman, huh? Are you sticking with Jameis Winston as your pick right now?
I'm definitely sticking with Jameis Winston. He's definitely the hands-down, clear-cut favorite in this award, and I think he deserves it.
He is #1 in the country in passing efficiency, but it appears the off-field issues won't be resolved until Heisman votes are done. Andre Williams would have to be right in the hunt as well. The first ACC back ever over 2,000 yards. Chase Redding and I tweeted back and forth the other day about Andre Williams. He told me this, quote, "Dre is an animal. He brings it every down. This season has been pretty special. Andre 44 Heisman." All right, CP, if voters shy away from Winston, what kind of shot does Andre Williams have?
Well, I think he would be next in line because all the other people who you would hype up slipped at the end of the season. So I think Andre Williams got hot at the right time. He's making noise on the field, and he's staying quiet off. But what we need is Boston College to have an Andre Williams campaign and make more noise for him.
We're starting to see it. I think he really needs to gain another 200 yards against Syracuse this Saturday. That would definitely help. Now, we all know defensive players don't get enough Heisman attention. Aaron Donald, though, struck a pose that Pitt tweeted out. Check out Aaron Donald, the big man. There it is.
It's always good to see the big man having fun. You know, I think Aaron Donald, hands down, is the best defensive player in college football. He should be Defensive Player of the Year, should win, rack up in all the other awards. But with Heisman, he should be in New York just because he's a better defensive player, but he's not going to win.
Every year there's like a token Heisman defensive guy. Some years that guy gets a lot of votes, like in Ndamukong Suh. Right?
Yeah.
He did really well a couple of years ago. Donald's numbers match up with a boy named Sue. We'll see if AD can get himself to NYC. All right, prepare yourself for some ACC Craigslist awesomeness. This guy has 4 good seats to the Maryland-NC State game. He's doing everything he can to generate some interest. Okay, I'm going to quote what he wrote on Craigslist. ACC Championship implications are on the line this weekend. Yes, those implications apply to other teams, but those teams are in the same conference. So hold on to your butts. For those history buffs out there, NC State has not gone winless in conference play since 1732. Be there for the first time it happens in almost 300 years. History, facts, sports. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Do not miss out.
I think I might just go online and buy those tickets for him. I think he made a great case, and it was clear, uncut, to the point why he needed it, and finish it off. Tell why he needs these.
Yeah, he added some emotional blackmail. He said he needs the money to get home for Thanksgiving.
Mega bus.
And he finished with the hashtag, please buy these. And since so many of you are cooking for Thanksgiving, check this out. Someone found Michael Jordan in a cucumber. Usually it's Jesus on a pancake or Mona Lisa on a grilled cheese, but there's MJ.
I actually think that's real. We was trying to debate if it was carved out or if it was real. I actually think that's real.
There's Jumpman, and that is the buzz. All right, 4 ACC teams are taking on the SEC Saturday. CP, what do you make of these? How many ACC wins?
Florida State blowout against Florida. I think 3-1. 3-1. I don't know Wake Forest Vanderbilt game, but Georgia Tech should win. No Aaron Murray. Clemson should beat South Carolina.
And CP's former teammate, by the way, Ronaldo Wynn, joins the show in a few minutes to break down the SEC-ACC rivalry games. Now, Clinton wasn't happy that Ken Dorsey didn't make our list of the 10 greatest quarterbacks in the history of the current ACC schools. We released our rankings Monday, as voted on by ACC experts. CP, you should be happy, that's right, with number 1, because he was your pick as well. Florida State's Charlie Ward is the greatest.
I mean, hands down, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game of college football. I wish we had the opportunity to see him on the next level, but we didn't. And I think what he gave us left us wishing for so much more that it was hands down Charlie Ward.
He ended up, of course, having a great career in the NBA. Here's how the experts voted. Philip Rivers, number 2, the ACC's all-time passing leader. 3 and 4, Heisman Trophy winners. Then at 5, a Pro Football Hall of Famer. Matty Ice, Michael Vick, another Heisman winner at 8, Vinny Testaverde, a Heisman runner-up at 9, Joe Hamilton, at 10, Donovan McNabb. Anyone you want to complain about there? Too high, too low?
Well, I actually think you have to bring Donovan McNabb up. When you look at what Donovan McNabb did in college at Syracuse with Marvin Harrison and Kevin Johnson, you have to move him up that list.
And you wish Ken Dorsey had been on there.
Yeah,
That's a look at the greatest quarterbacks. Duke is having its greatest season in decades. Let's look at the Duke Blue Devils by the numbers. We start with the number 1. That's the number of times Duke's football program has appeared in the BCS standings. That's right. This week, the Blue Devils made their first appearance in the rankings, coming in at 24. Next up, number 9. Number 9. The Blue Devils have won 9 games this season. That's tied for the most in program history, a mark set by the 1941 Blue Devils team that played in the Rose Bowl. The number 7 is definitely lucky for this team. That's the number of games in the current Duke winning streak. After starting 2-2, David Cutcliffe's team has rattled off 7 in a row. It's the longest streak they've had since 1994. And 24, the number of years since Duke's last ACC title. In 1989, with Steve Spurrier as head coach, the Blue Devils shared the crown with Virginia. Duke has a shot, needs to beat UNC, and that is Duke by the numbers. One last number, 3. As in the uniform number of Jamison Crowder, former North Carolina great Dre Bly caught up with Crowder on the field.
I'm here in Durham, North Carolina with JAMEIS and Crowder. I like to say it's an honor for me to be here with one of the most dynamic players in the ACC, not only the ACC, but the country. So how are you, big dog?
I'm doing good.
Doing
I'm
good.
honored to be here too also.
Last year, I recall you making a big time catch against my alma mater. Actually, it made me pretty sick to my stomach. Talk about that catch and what was going through your mind on that final play.
Well, I mean, the main thing that was going through my mind was just make a play. You know, being so close to the end zone, I just want to make sure that I got in the end zone. If the ball came my way, I just wanted to be able to make the play, and that happened, and I was able to make the catch, and yeah, we got the bell over here in Durham.
Your job is to run a 10-yard in,
Okay.
and I come up, and I'm pressing you inside leverage.
If I can't go inside, I come off the line, give him a little something, boom, run. And if he's trailing me,
Trailing.
if he's trailing me, it's a technique that Coach Mo teaches us. Strap the helmet. I can boom, boom, chop, strap my helmet to get him to replace that outside, and I just come in. Or if he's on top, we had a throw-by technique that Coach Mo teaches us. Boom, boom, throw by, come under, and then just try to get that inside position.
I let him catch that one. So what are you thinking when the corner gets right here on the fade route?
I'm pretty much just trying to fight for position and stack them so I don't get wide into the sideline.
Okay. And what if I'm slapping you down like this?
We just battling. Boom.
Okay.
Our coach teaches the rip technique.
Okay.
But if I can see it's coming, a little more inside, I can try to fight over, stop back, so I can hopefully get a pass interference, make a play on the ball.
How old are you?
20.
I'm 36. Oh! Got a junior, JAMEIS and Crowder from Duke. I typically don't give up routes or passes to Duke Blue Devils, but this is a young, up-and-coming, dynamic player here in the ACC. Not only the ACC, the country. You've seen focus. This program is going in the right direction. Keep doing what you do, man. Great things will happen.
Thank you.
I need some ice for both hammies.
Dre looks good, but he's a little out of breath there.
I like the emphasis on 36. I'm 36. Yeah, Dre did look good. He might need to get back in the league.
All right, coming up, Ronaldo WYNN steps in next to break down the 3 in-state ACC SEC rivalries, and I explain how Florida State and Clemson can have a rematch at the Rose Bowl in the national title game.
it down the sideline. He got a first down.
Launches one in a single coverage, and it is caught!
What a grab by Ebron. Did he catch it? He caught it on the ground. What a remarkable Houdini job by JAMEIS Winston.
Trey Williams runs a man over. Watkins goes, touchdown!
Welcome back to ACC Live, and look who's here. Notre Dame and NFL great Ronaldo Wynn. You just saw some of the must-see moments of the year. We release the top 10 this Sunday, and you vote on which one is number one, the must-see moment of the year. That's this Sunday. Certainly, the Sammy Watkins touchdown you just saw against UGA was a fantastic way to start the season. It was a big ACC win over the SEC, and Ronaldo, 3 huge ACC-SEC rivalry games this Saturday.
Yeah, and it's going to tell you that the ACC rules this year. This is their year, and it's no wonder that 2 of those teams are ranked in the top 10. So I definitely think this is a year for the ACC.
So with these huge rivalry games, let's call this a win-win situation. What's it going to take for the 3 ACC teams to win and beat their SEC rivalries? Let's start with Florida State at Florida. The Noles can take another step toward the national title. Florida, it's in a tailspin. Last week, the Gators lost to Georgia Southern. Okay, it looks like a mismatch, but it is a rivalry game. What are the 3 keys for Jimbo Fisher's team to win?
Well, let's first talk about the key matchup. And the number 1 key matchup to this game is Florida State's defense versus SKYLER MORNHINWEG, a new quarterback. And Florida State defense, they love to get after the quarterback, and it won't be any different this week. And then let's also look at the key player of the game, KELVIN Benjamin, 6'4". And also he can run and he can catch the ball. And I see KELVIN Benjamin going down, making some big plays all game for the Noles. And let's look at it this way. Florida doesn't have a guy on their team that's 6 foot. Even the safety is 5'9". And let's not forget about the wild card, Jimbo Fisher, a guy that has also allowed this team to buy into what he's been talking about. They're going to put in the blinders. They're not going to play down to their competition. And you better believe they're going to play their best game.
If they win, they are 12-0. Still thinking about that national title. Okay. Give me your prediction. Florida State versus Florida.
Florida State versus Florida, 49-28. Florida State, it's a blowout.
Now, Florida Gator fans might be saying, hey, we'll at least take 28 points. We probably haven't scored that much in weeks combined.
Yeah, take it.
All right. Now, of course, Jimbo Fisher, Will Muschamp, our former Nick Saban assistants, very good friends. Then there's the Clemson-South Carolina rivalry. That one isn't quite as friendly. JADEVEON CLOWNEY took some verbal shots at TAJH Boyd over the summer, saying Boyd is scared in the pocket. Quote, you can see it in his eyes that he's scared of our D linemen. So what are the keys to a Clemson win?
Well, the oldest trick in the book is to try to get in TAJH Boyd's head, but I'm sure TAJH Boyd, he's going to be talking to his offensive lineman. And one guy in particular is Brandon Thomas, who allowed last year 4 sacks. But Brandon Thomas says he's ready for this matchup against JADEVEON CLOWNEY. He's going to neutralize him, so TAJH Boyd will have a little bit of time to be able to make those big plays downfield. And let's talk about our key player, TAJH Boyd. He's a senior. This is his time to shine. He hadn't beaten South Carolina his whole career, and I think he gets to win this week coming up. And let's not forget about our wild card matchup. You want to talk about coaching. You look at DABO, SWINNEY, you look at Steve Spurrier, my former coach, and we know he's not shy in saying a few things there, which you have a few coach from my old ball coach.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we talk about Clowney, what he said about TAJH Boyd, but Spurrier is a trash talk Hall of Famer. There's no doubt. I remember back in the day, a couple of years ago, to the delight of Gamecocks fans everywhere, the HBC said, quote, we aren't LSU and we aren't Alabama, but we sure ain't Clemson. Spurrier has a way of words. Ronaldo, predict who gets in the best verbal jab and who wins.
Well, the person that has the last say is Clemson. They're going to get this win. It's going to be 34-31. It's going to be a close one, but they're going to edge South Carolina off in their home stadium, even though it's senior day for them too.
It sure is. Now, if you thought that rivalry gets a little chippy sometimes, let's talk about the game that's known as clean old-fashioned hate. Georgia and Georgia Tech. The big news, of course, Georgia's all-time leading passer, senior Aaron Murray, is hurt. Ronaldo, what are the keys to a Georgia Tech win?
Well, the first matchup is the Georgia Tech's rushing offense against that Georgia defense. And it starts up front, and we know that Georgia is ranked 30th in the run, so this is a great opportunity for this offense, who's ranked in the top 4 in the country, getting 316 yards a game. David Sims and Robert Godhigh, it won't be any different this week as they control the ground game. And then let's look at the key player of this game is Jeremiah Atauchi. I love talking about defensive players, one of the best pass rushers in the country, and he gets Hudson Mason, a new guy who steps in for Murray, and he's going to be after him, harassing him all week. And let's look at our wild card. We talked about Aaron Murray. This is the single reason why Georgia's not going to win, because they don't have Aaron Murray at the quarterback position. So there won't be no doubt about it that Georgia Tech will get this win.
All right, so give me a score. What's the score Georgia Tech beats Clemson by?
I'd say 24-10. It's going to be a convincing win because Georgia Tech is going to control the ground game because they're going to keep running the ball there.
All right, so if you were keeping track, Ronaldo thinks the ACC goes 3-0 in those rivalry games with the SEC. Fans, do you agree? Will Florida State, Clemson, and Georgia Tech all win their in-state rivalry games? Tweet us what you think at the ACC DN. Coming up, how Florida State and Clemson could play for the national title. That's right, I'm going to explain how the Noles and Tigers could meet in the BCS National Championship. That's next.
The day has arrived for the #1 Florida Gators and the #2 Florida State Seminoles to get it on. Both putters are very good. Pressure here, blocked. They blocked it, and it's down at the 2-yard line. If they don't get a touchdown here, the Gators will win this scrimmage. There it is, Pooh Bear.
Oh, it's Keith Jackson you hear right there. Welcome back to ACC Live. That's Florida State and Florida 1996, the top 2 teams in the country meeting in their regular season finale. And that is this week's throwback game here on the ACC DN as soon as Clinton and I wrap up ACC Live. I, of course, as well will be tweeting from the ACC DN Twitter account during throwback so you can get the multiple screen experience. It'll blow your mind. Just ahead here on the show, how Florida State and Clemson can meet for the national title. Yes, I'm serious. That's too serious to joke about. But first, let's take a look at what's on the ACC Now menu, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Duke talks about the big game against Carolina, and Syracuse and Pitt take on Pac-12 schools in some holiday hoops tourneys. We start with Duke's biggest game in decades. It's against rival North Carolina. A Blue Devils win. They're in the ACC title game to take on Florida State. Coach David Cutcliffe says this could be like a fairy tale.
But if you can win a game, you know, in a meaningful time of year, the next game gets bigger. And so what it ended up being was 2 teams that are on a win streak, that are playing as well as anybody in the league, coming together, and it happens to be a rival game, and it happens to be on a holiday weekend. So, you know, they were able to kind of write their own story, and you write your own challenge, and that's what this ultimately is.
Last night, Hawaii hoops, Syracuse and Cal at the Maui Invitational. By the way, it's snowing in Syracuse. The Orange pulled away in the second half. Tyler Ennis had 28. Jeremy Grant with 19 and an ACC Digital Network must-see moment. The Orange face Baylor in the championship game tonight at 10 Eastern. Mahalo. Pitt and Stanford at the Barclays Center in the Legends Classic Championship. 5 different players in double figures for Pitt. Panthers win easily. Tell you what, Lamar Patterson, tournament MVP, he had 24, and that's the ACC Now, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Clinton Portis is back, and Clinton, I have a plan. I've worked it all out for an all-ACC national championship game. I know. Yeah, I know. I present some crazy ideas, some crazy scenarios, but this one
Are you serious?
That's a perfect are you serious? But I am serious. It is not out of the realm of possibility. Let's start with what the BCS standings are right now and what needs to happen this weekend. The keys here: Alabama beats number 4 Auburn to knock out the Tigers. Number 5 Missouri loses to Johnny Football and Texas A&M. And of course, Clemson needs to beat South Carolina. So that would mean next week the BCS standings look like this, and here's what you need. Alabama loses to then South Carolina in the SEC Championship. Ohio State loses to Michigan State in the Big Ten Championship. And if that happens, on December 8th, Florida State will be number 1. The only options for number 2, Michigan State, Alabama, and Clemson. Alabama would have just lost to South Carolina, a team Clemson beat the week before. Michigan State would have a 1 loss to a pretty good but not great Notre Dame team and some other unimpressive wins. Clemson's only lost to the number 1 team in the country. It would have to be Florida State and Clemson. So what do you think?
I think DABO gets his chance. He said it. 5 out of 10 times Clemson will split with Florida State. Well, 1 out of 2 times. Could he split if he got his opportunity?
I had forgotten about that quote he said after they lost to Florida State earlier this year. And you're right, that would give him that second chance to break even on the season.
But question, was he saying Florida State will win the next 5 and he win the last 5?
He wasn't promising an order.
Okay.
Now, as we're getting close to the holidays, Clinton is bearing gifts today. He's ready to hand out some season-ending awards. That's right. Now, this isn't like the doors opening for Black Friday. No stampede. We'll do this orderly. First, the Rodney Dangerfield No Respect Award, and I respect you're going old school. Who's your pick?
It will be Aaron Donald up at Pitt. He's playing outstanding. He's a one-man wrecking crew on this D-line. Probably the best defensive player in college football at the moment, and he deserves it. I think he deserves more attention and more notoriety. Look how he's just wrecking this O-line.
So from one-man wrecking crew to one-man Wolfpack, we're not talking about NC State. Who's your one-man Wolfpack award winner?
My one-man Wolfpack is Boston College running back Andre Williams. We've spoken of him a lot, and you don't even know another name of a Boston College player on this team. I think Andre Williams, 2 wins last season, and all of a sudden, yes, look at this stiff arm. Look how he bowls over people. Look at his legs. They keep churning, and it's hard for that first man to bring him down.
By the way, Trey Johnson, a Villanova defensive player they played earlier this year, said this: "That's a grown man, and I had to tackle him." LOL.
Well, he's at Villanova, so most people that they play are grown.
All right. Your best freshman not named Jameis Winston award.
Well, you have to look at Virginia Tech defensive back Kendall Fuller right here. He's playing. Look at this rip. This is this is a senior move for you to rip the ball out and come up with it to make this play. Even if you look at him in interceptions, he's tied for 4th in football with 5 interceptions. So he's not a household name yet, but he will be soon.
All right, those are your Clinton Portis ACC awards for the 2013 season. Thank you for watching ACC Throwback. We are thankful that you are always here with us following ACC sports. Up next, ACC Throwback 1996, Florida and Florida State. I'll be tweeting from the ACC Dan account. That's ACC Live.
Touchdown to Fischel! It's over. Boston College wins all the way! It's a touchdown for Miami! Looking for the end zone. Touchdown! Torrey Holt. Johnson's there. Touchdown! And there's Orange in the end zone! One of the biggest plays in Duke history. A moment of magic!
I'm Jeff Fischel. Welcome to ACC Throwback. We're a day early so that you don't disrupt your Thanksgiving just to spend time with us, which I know you would. You thought this Saturday's Seminoles-Gators game is a big one. Well, today's throwback game, the last regular season game in the 90s to have 1 versus 2, 1996. Both Florida and Florida State came in 10-0. While you watch Throwback, follow the ACC DN on Twitter. I'm conducting my weekly Twitter takeover, and I'll tweet whatever is necessary to make my point. I'll be back in a few minutes for more on this game. So stop making stuffing. Sit down and feast on Throwback here on the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
Many great battles have been waged. Memories of fierce legends still fresh. What new heroes will stand tall? They meet this year without equals, having foiled the challenges of all who stood before them. The beasts, the spirits have conquered all. The time has come for their leaders to be heard, their disciples eager in anticipation of this moment. They clash here in this annual ritual, a quest for the ultimate jewel. Who will be conquered? Judgment Day is upon us.
Well, cast aside all those cold fears of anticipation. The day has arrived for the #1 Florida Gators and the #2 Florida State Seminoles to get it on. The day to play the game. Only the 31st time #1 has met #2 in college football history. It's Spurrier and Bowden. A 3rd down and 23 now. Down he goes. Andre Wadsworth. 282-pound junior from Miami. And the Seminoles are hot.
And that is the 62nd sack of the season. They're concerned about the ends, Wilson and Boulware, and from the inside, Wadsworth comes in. He's had some injury problems. That's only his 3rd sack of the year. They can get you from the inside or the outside.
Robbie Stevenson, the punter. 44+ on the season. Both punters are very good. Pressure here, blocked. They blocked it. And it's down at the 2-yard line. It may have been Shevin Smith. There were 3 or 4 of them that came pouring in. Boulware looked like he was there, so we'll have a look at it and tell you.
From the left side, this is the 6th punt. This is the 6th block kick of the year.
You got 2 fullbacks in there with Rock Preston at tailback. And a glorious opportunity right here. They hand it to the up man. That would be Pooh Bear Williams. And there is very little there for Pooh Bear as the Gators stack it up. So it'll be 2nd down and goal from about the 3.
This is a problem that the Seminoles have, Keith, when they get inside the 5-yard line, because all of their tailbacks are small. Dunn, Preston, and Feast are all small. They don't have a big back. And the only big backs are their fullbacks that don't carry the ball a lot. In fact, when we did the Virginia game, remember Pooh Bear Williams had the fumble inside the 10-yard line.
2nd down and goal. If they don't get a touchdown here, the Gators will win this scrimmage. There it is. Pooh Bear. Those are altered cheers for the big old fullback. 286 pounds.
That was before the pregame meal, huh?
Yeah. Scott Bentley for the point. That's his first touchdown of the season. The kick is away. It's good. At 3:07 to play in the first quarter. The Seminoles block a punt. Cash it in. Lead 10-0. Stevenson gets it out. It's a low liner. There's some room. Number one got a piece of him, but now Warwick breaks it. He's got some help. And taken down at the Gator 39-yard line. He was one man short in his picket. Otherwise, he would have taken it home. 32-yard punt and an 18-yard return.
Special teams advantage to Florida State so far. It's a nice play by Capers, 23, not the block, the man in the back. They've got a nice return going here. And of course the block punt earlier in the ballgame.
The pregame comments of the two coaches was, Steve Spurrier, let's not give him a cheap one, special team. Okay?
Right.
His has collapsed so far. Bobby Bowden, we got to get pressure on Werfel. If we can't beat him. All those things have happened so far. Busby going big. Warwick down under it. He's got it. Peter Warwick down under the ball at the 2-yard line. So a huge play. The ball is inside the 2. It's first and goal for the Seminoles. They lead 10-0 and they're looking for more.
Like the Gators got off the bus, but they left their heads when they in the hotel when they left. They are not into this ball game, Keith. Everything has gone away from them. They are not making the plays.
This is Busby. Throws. Touchdown. Melvin Pearsall. Is that a flag? I see a huddle by the officials. That usually means there's laundry on the field.
Contact, foul against the offense. Be penalized on the kickoff.
It's a celebration. Yeah. Rule after the kickoff, and it's going to be one of those days for the Gators. They're going to have to come from behind and down. Right now, what, 16 points down.
About to be 17 if Scott Bentley, the senior from Aurora, Colorado, can knock it through. Scott came in as a heralded freshman. Has had a few bumps on his road, but is heading down the home stretch in high style. That is good. And it's Florida State 17, Florida nothing, with 59 seconds to go in the first quarter.
But when you put pressure on a quarterback, Keith, I don't care how good he is. If he doesn't have time or doesn't think he's going to have time, he's going to throw it a little quicker.
Well, Danny has good reason not to feel right about now. He doesn't have time. He's been on his back all day. First and 10. Werfel put some air under it. He's got Anthony down there. It's touchdown, Gators.
No, they call him out.
No, they call him out at the 1. They've called him on the chalk. Anthony come back. He wants a debate, but they pull him away, and I thought he cantered in, but look for yourself.
Here are your skill players. Outstanding speed at wide receiver and very good defensive backs, but this is just a streak. Anthony goes by him. Don't count the Gators out, Keith. They have too much skill and too much big play and explosiveness. 17 points doesn't affect him, and he is out.
He hit the chalk.
Yeah, he is out.
He could have made it in there if he'd have paid attention to it, but it's first down and goal from the 1 now for the Gators. First and goal. Throws it to the corner. It's touchdown, Jaquez Green. And so the Gators get on the board and ease some of the pain.
You got that right, Keith. They needed something positive to happen. They needed a big play. They needed what other team in America on the first and goal on the 1 yard line would put 3 wide receivers to the right side and throw on first down? He's just throwing away. He knows that Cozy, from film study, probably knows that Cozy doesn't see the ball well when it's coming at him in the end zone.
Bart Edmiston out of Matt Teague's hold, and Michael Yonkins' snap makes the play. With 12:22 to go in the first half, it is now 17-7. Florida State with no more timeouts remaining now. That was the last one. Elijah Williams, the running back. 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Florida trying to score again. 17-7 ball game. Crowd coming up, trying to help the defense. Pressure coming, working pass. Touchdown, Jaquez Green. And a penalty flag. Right back there again. There were 2 Seminoles that just buried Werfel, and the penalties against Florida State. The touchdown will count.
Automatic first down.
Well, didn't he score? Yeah, he scored. The official just had it wrong. Here's Boulware from the outside. That's what they called, and that's a good call, Keith.
Oh, that snap was almost bobbled away, but they get it down and get it up, and it's good. So Edmiston makes it, and now it is a 3-point game.
Dunn is going into the locker room. It looks like he's limping on that leg.
She is. Busby again sandwiched. Here's a penalty flag out of the referee's.
Ball came out.
The ball loose and covered by the Gators, but that flag was thrown some time ago before the ball came out. Might be on the nose. If it is, the Gators might have a shot at it.
Illegal block against the offense is refused.
First down, Florida.
You got it. Busby steps up. Now when you're in trouble, put the ball away. Protect the ball. There you go. It's knocked loose. The Gators get a break.
20 seconds. They got 2 shots at it. If they can protect Werfel. That goes to Anthony. He's out of bounds, stopping the clock at the 36-yard line. Now they're close enough to put it in the end zone. The clock continuing to run, and they don't give him them out of bounds. But they should have stopped the clock to move the chains at the end of the play.
Yes.
About 4 seconds rolled off of it.
Well, the Gators need to be up there and snap the ball as soon as it's waved ready for play. There you go.
Now he spikes it. And he's got 3 seconds. So he's got 1 play to stick the ball in the end zone or get it down there close enough so somebody might run it in.
Yep.
You listen to this crowd now when the Gators come out and try to run that 1 play. They better have something
they're going to kick it, I think.
Figured out.
Try the field goal.
They are going to go for the field goal.
Right.
So they will send Bart Edmiston out and try to tie it at halftime. His longest is in the 40-49-yard range. This one is going to be spotted at the 43. It's a 53-yarder. It will be his longest ever. It's short. Not by much, but short by about a yard. And so the halftime score, Florida State owning the first quarter 17, Florida owning the second quarter 14.
The key in this game, clearly, putting pressure on Heisman winner Danny Wuerffel. By the time the game was over, the Noles had knocked him down 32 times. After the game ends, stick around. I'll explain why this game, as great as it was, number 1 versus number 2, had actually 0 impact on the national championship. Here's the rest of the Noles and Gators 1996 here on the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
First down, Seminoles at the Gator 42. 10 minutes, 11 seconds to play in the game. Busby back. Has time again. And it is incomplete. Pretty good battle for the ball there between the Coles of Florida State. Antone Lott was with him.
Busby says, come on, get the play in here. Get it in there quicker.
Play incomplete pass, stopping the clock at 10:03.
Quarterbacks like to get to the line of scrimmage with a lot of time left on that 25-second clock so they can check off if they want to.
Now it's 7 seconds. Snaps it at 6. A soft pass going just over the line of scrimmage to Warwick Dunn. And that's another Seminole first down.
Yeah, that's dangerous there. You can't cover him one-on-one. It's man-to-man coverage all across the front here. Here's Dunn. He's going to come out of the backfield. He's got a little option. He can go one way or the other. And the linebacker right there has to cover him either way. He chooses to go inside. Busby gets him the ball, and he breaks the tackle.
Johnny Rutledge had to leave the game, the outside linebacking position. Kelsey comes in for Florida. And the Seminoles are moving it from the 27. Here's Busby setting up, going for the corner. And it is incomplete, and no fault of Busby. He threw the ball perfectly, but the intended receiver, E.G. Green, and the defender kind of tangled their feet, and it didn't quite come off.
He had a little trouble coming out of his break. We'll see it here.
Right there.
Yeah, that's no foul there. It's just unfortunate that he stumbled coming out of the move because the ball was high enough he could have adjusted if he would have been there.
That had 6 all over. 17-14 Florida State. Second down and 10. Ball at the Gator 27. That's the time remaining in the ball game. Little short snap goes to Dunn. Dunn runs it over the right side down to the 20. It'll be 3rd and 3. Alabama is sitting home watching. The ball is just inside the 20. 3rd down, 2 for Florida State. Dunn. He's got the first down. He's close to a touchdown. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
Running left side. Good block by Pooh Bear Williams up there. 81 is Pearsall, the tight end. Showers is number 2. He's the free safety. He'll eventually have to get over and make the play.
They give the ball to Williams, the fullback, and he gets his 285 or 6 pounds rumbling for maybe a yard, maybe a foot. Warwick Dunn has 168 yards rushing today. He has 4 catches for 24 yards. He has influenced at least 70% of the plays in the ball game that Florida State has run offensively. And he'll probably get it right here on 2nd down and goal from the 1. Nope, they give it to does not get in there.
He weighs 285 pounds, Keith, and he was kind of stepping over some people in there. You don't want to be on the bottom of that pile with poo coming through.
And he'd leave a cleat mark for a month. Here comes Lamar Glenn, the other fullback, into the game. So he's going to be in the backfield. Messam has come out. Now Messam is going to go back. Somebody else is going to come out.
Take a timeout here.
Take a timeout. Maybe they just get up and ride, as Willie calls it, the old city of New Orleans over there. However, this is a chance for him to put it away. They give it to Williams. He does not budge it.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did, too. He fell down.
Second effort.
He wiggled off the top and fell over the side and rolled into the end zone. His first lick, he was stone cold, but he kept on pounding and rolled out and in there.
The defensive effort is solid to begin with. Right there, he's not over. Watch him spins to our right.
Rolls
he gets
in.
across, no question.
And Kevin Long, the center, shaken up and has to come out. Big fella from Summerville, South Carolina.
That'll hurt them. They don't have any more seasoned backup offensive linemen to put in there.
Here comes your extra point try from Scott Bentley to make it a 10-point lead with 7:15 to play in the ball game, and he's got it. Remember now, a little while ago, Florida lost a touchdown on a holding penalty. Seminoles have come back down, and they have scored. And Stoops after Pooh Bear rolled in. Throws it hard and has a man. And the play is good for a first down at about the 35-yard line of Florida State. And that will move the chains and stop the clock at 1:51 to play in the game. 24-14. Florida State 10-point lead. Only one touchdown scored in the second half of this ball game. That was by the Seminoles on a 75-yard surge, and that's about all they've done in the second half. It's been
that was
defense.
the only possession that they had.
Defense. Werfel throwing for Anthony. He's got it. And he's down at the 3-yard line. He caught it over Mario Edwards.
Well, this is what you've been looking at all day. One-on-one coverage, tight coverage. They've thrown this 15 times and maybe only hit it twice. Not a very high percentage, but they score here. There'll be some excitement on that kickoff.
Minute and a half to play in the game. Penalty flag. Jaquez Green was held by Samari Roll. Roll had his arms all over it. And I'm pretty sure that's what the call is going to be.
Interference, pass interference, defense.
Yep.
First down on the 2-yard line.
Florida did this earlier down in the same position. They must have read something where just throw it out there, and he didn't think that the that's clearly holding. Clearly holding. They just wanted to do that. Throw it out there to the receiver one-on-one. That time
that cost him 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
And you got a Seminole coming out, shaking up. That's Boulware, yeah. I thought he was indestructible.
Maybe he's just run out of gas.
He played some football. Wow. All right. First and goal from the 2. Anthony, touchdown. Rodell Anthony
State's kicker, Edmiston, is hurt. I wonder, take a look at the touchdown. They was throwing jump balls in the end zone. Just throwing it up there, and their guys are going and getting it.
Matt Teague can do kickoffs. Collins Cooper is a kicker, so he's the sophomore kicker, and Cooper is in.
He hasn't kicked many this year.
No,
either.
he has not. Now's a good time to start your career. There it is. Banged it right up and in.
But he's going to have to be the guy that kicks the tying field goal if it ever gets to that point.
That's right. 1:19 to play in the game. We got the Skins game coming up in just a few minutes. Rock Preston is the only person in the middle of the field. Hit it hard. And did it go through clean? If they went through clean, it'll be Florida State's ball, and there's a penalty flag. Hold on. That could mean just kicking it out of bounds, which is normal. He kicked it hard.
The reason he kicked it hard is
trying to ricochet,
hoping to hit one of the Florida State players.
But he didn't, and it's Florida State football. Florida State Seminoles under Bobby Bowden will surely move to #1. And then wait until the Nokia Sugar Bowl in New Orleans for their chance to claim a national championship. And that snap of the ball will do it. Your final score, Florida State 24, Florida 21.
So after the game, the Noles were the clear #1, and it appeared the Gators' title hopes were gone. But they ended up playing each other again in the Sugar Bowl. After Arizona State lost in the Rose Bowl, this game became the national title game. And it was all Gators the second time around. 52-20, Steve Spurrier finally got his national title. Thank you for watching ACC Throwback from all of us here at the ACC Digital Network. We hope you and yours have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm Jeff Fischel.